Hello, students. A very warm welcome to you. Many of the students, they were discussing or they were asking, Sir, can you make a very foundational explanation of what thinkers are? Because whenever we go and listen to any sociology class, they keep on telling thinkers are very important. Without thinkers, you cannot study sociology. So I am making this lecture keeping in mind that you do not know anything about thinkers, or it's uh it's like a rough outline that you should be very well aware of how to deal with this particular thinker. So I will directly just get started. Who is Karl Marx? I am pretty sure that in your school days or maybe somewhere in your college days, you might have heard this word Marx, Marxist thought, Marxism, etc. If you look in George Ritzer, they begin the first line by telling that Marx has been covered by Marxism, or Marx is lost under Marx. I'm not going to talk in a very detailed way, but let me tell you that this person is contributing into the field of history. He is contributed into the field of history. He has heavily contributed in the field of economics, heavily contributed in the field of political science. He is also being studied when it comes to analysis of the modern society. He compares the old and the new society. So what is this guy? This guy a historian? No, he's not a historian. He has contributed in economics sense. Is he an economist? He is not an economist. He is telling that we need to change the political spectrum of a society. Is he a political scientist? No. Is he considered to be an analyst or someone who compares old and new? Is he an anthropologist, sociologist? No. Let me tell you that Marx is not even considered to be as a sociologist. He is considered to be just a person who has added thought into the society. So he is considered to be as a revolutionary philosopher. So he has brought his own philosophy. So he's considered to be as a form of a philosopher. And these are radical thoughts, extremist thought. So we call him to be as a revolutionist. Why he is revolutionary, etc. We will look into it in a more detailed matter, not in this video. So at what time was he basically present? He was born in 1880 and he was present till 1883. So this particular period is considered to be as a post-industrial revolution. So the industrial revolution, it began in 1750s. So this guy was there after 2 years. So he was able to see how industrial revolution is well developed, how it is progressing, etc. Why is he popular? Because this person has tried to always highlight the conflict in the society. He never looks at the good thing. He's always telling that there is some kind of a conflict, some tension is being developed. And this tension and stress and strain, it is basically between two types of people. He has divided the whole world into two classes. If I'm oversimplifying this can be called as the rich and the poor, haves and the have-nots. So he is telling that these two groups that I divide the world into, haves and have-nots, they are always in a state of some conflict. And why is he popular? Because he is telling the haves or the rich people are going to lose the war against the poor people. So he tells this in his own sociological manner, in his own philosophical manner. And this is line basically, the bourgeois are going to lose the war. The proletariats or the industrial workers are the ones who are going to win this war. This popular theory, he says, it is called to be as the dictatorship of proletariats or the post-socialistic society, or we just commonly call that to be as the communist society. So he is popularly known for his thoughts on communism. Uh, I am not going to be talking about different libraries which are being filled. In UPSC, there are just 4 topics that you need to look at. The first topic is called as historical materialism. This is basically considered to be as a foundational story that Marx doesn't find anywhere. He created the story. So it's an imaginative thought. So when it comes to historical materialism, it's a foundational story that has been created by Karl Marx. And once he develops this story, he wants to tell how things are moving around from one stage to another. And if we talk about, he says that there are 4 stages in which the progression has been made. Right now, we are in the fourth stage, that is the industrial capitalistic society. And here he's trying to highlight how the conflict is responsible for shifting the society from one stage to second stage, second to the third stage. So this conflict has been highlighted in the concept of mode of production. He talks about forces of production, relation of production. We will talk about this in a while. The third is, once this conflict has been created, what is the impact that has been established? So the society is in some sort of depression. So society is feeling isolated. They are into some kind of loneliness. This is a subjective component that he is highlighting. He is telling to the workers that don't you see yourself lonely? Don't you see yourself isolated into a state of depression? You don't have a purpose in your life because you have lost that purpose against the machineries. You have lost that purpose against the rich people who are controlling you. So he is telling you are in a state of alienation, and how you can come out of this state of alienation, it is by creating a war. So this war is nothing but the class conflict. And he says, what is this class conflict? This class is basically a group of people, or they are simply in Marxian way, they are called as only the rich and the poor. So he is talking about this class conflict. So this is like a struggle. Once you win that struggle, you know the ultimate goal, you will be able to establish a classless society where everybody will be happy. They will be able to find the purpose of their life. So this is the outline. First, historical materialism. What is this? This is an imaginative story that Marx builds. Then he is telling how did the society evolve from one stage to another? It is in the mode of production. And once this production is happening, people have lost the purpose of their life. And if you want to get back the purpose of your life, you are having nothing but the ideas of communism. Now, let's try to look these four topics a little bit more in detail. What I have done over here, I have tried to find some formal definitions that we are having. So you can see that this is like the definition for the historical materialism topic. This is like the definition that you need to keep in mind for mode of production. And then we are having the third is the alienation, and the fourth is the class struggle. You can literally write these definitions in your examination. It is including the key points. I'm not here to talk about the definition. I want to talk a little bit more in detail when we are looking into the topic. So the first, it is, what is historical materialism? Marx is telling when we talk about history, so Marx is going and see that all the history that has been written, it has been written by the rich people. So it is called to be as the bourgeoistic history. So if you look, he refers the word rich and the poor with specific terms. He says the rich people are called to be as the bourgeois. So whenever you listen to the word bourgeois, you can consider this as the rich people or the powerful people. And he also refers them to be as haves. It means they have all the money. They have all the power. They have all the resources. Opposite to that are those group of people who are poor. He doesn't use the word poor. He says they are called to be as proletariats. And they are called to be as have-nots. It means they do not have power. They do not have money, resources at their own ends. And what is historical materialism? It is basically an interpretation of society on the basis of matter. And whenever whoever controls the important matter, they are the ones who are going to control those societies. For example, the first society that was established, it was a communist society. Everybody were living together. Everything was owned by the people in collectivity. If you go look at the early men, they hunt an animal, they equally divide it. This kind of equal division in the society is a communist society, and he refers this is called as primitive communism. First time the problem begins when the humans have started to control the resources with inequality. So this society is called as an ancient society where humans were telling that I am the ones who is controlling these animals. So these animals doesn't belong to everybody. I am going to do animal husbandry for them and you will work for me. And in return, I will give you some food. So this established the relation of masters and slaves. Then second type of society will come when humans will tell that I am the not just the owner of the animal, I'm also the owner of the land. I can do whatever I want to on this piece of land. So this land belongs to me. You will come and work on this land. This created again a two type of society. One is called to be as the feuds. They are the agricultural owners. And if you are working for me, you will be called as serfs. You are basically you are an agrarian slave. So the feudal society divided into feuds and the serfs. And the fourth type of society that we get to establish is humans have started to claim whatever the resources they are going to get from that land. So they are telling this machine belongs to me, this minerals belongs to me. You will come and work on my machine. You will come and work on my resources. You will be called to be as a laborer. You will be called as a worker. I am the owner. I will be calling myself as bourgeois. You will be labeled to be as proletariats, workers, industrial class, something of that sort. So this created a society called as industrial society, which is called as bourgeois. So this stages of first is primitive communism, then we have ancient society, then we are having feudal society, then we have industrial. These stages have been highlighted when it comes to the first historical materialism. And how these changes are coming? These changes are being established on the basis of enmity. Like one person is trying to claim, the other person does not want to work, but they are being forced. So this enmity relationship is nothing but established on the basis of conflict. Many times he uses the word conflict, and many times he uses the word called as a dialectical. The word dialectical means something is antagonistic, something is anti to it. So the relationship of humans have always been present in this conflict and dialectical nature. And what is the problem that is present? That humans have been isolated. They are not able to find the purpose of their life. So they are disconnected. And he explains the topic called as alienation. And there are four types of alienation. One, there is alienation from the process of production. Second, there is an alienation from the product itself. Then there is alienation from the co-workers. And lastly, all one, two, three will lead towards alienation of their species being, alienation of their self. And the fourth is he's telling what is the solution for this? We should go and create some kind of class conflict. We should create some kind of class struggle. So what is the struggle? The have and the have not, they both will come under a war. The have nots are more in number. They will win this war and they will establish a society which is called to be a socialism. Later, they themselves will give up their power. This type of society is called to be as a communist society. So this 1, 2, 3, 4 is basically a narration what Marx is trying to explain. And here I want to highlight your main goal is to understand at what depth the questions are being asked. So when you look, these are the kind of questions that we get to see. Questions are primarily they are analytical, they are critical, comparative, and application based. So do not expect the questions are going to be directly coming. Very rarely we get to see a question might be asked, what is alienation? Or please assess the aspects of alienation. What is historical materialism? Usually they want you to analyze this topic. And what do you mean by analysis? They will be talking to you in application based. They will tell you this man is 200 years old, but is he relevant in 21st century? Is he relevant in the age of internet? Is he relevant in the age of global war? So they want you to bring this theory from 18th century, put it in 21st century, make some sense out of it. So these are the kind of questions that we get to see. Critically explain the salient features of alienation. Critically examine means you have to get into the depth of it. Examine the dialects involved in each mode of production. What is the essence of the Marxian theory of alienation? And they don't always ask you questions only from Marx. They compare these topics with other thinkers as well. Look at this fourth question that was asked in 20. Describe the main ideas of Max Weber's Protestant spirit of capitalism as a critic of Marxism. So they try to overlap these two thinkers, and then they also, UPSC has got unki marzi hai. They'll ask however they want. And then concept of historical materialism as a critic of Hegelian dialecticism. So these are the kinds of questions that we are having. I want you to go take a look at the syllabus in a detailed manner. Please put a comment if there is some topic that you are not able to understand. If there is any particular video that you want me to make, if there is any contemporary question, if I am seeing that 2, 3 different people are putting same kind of a comment, I promise in the next 1 week, I will make a good long video for that. And if you want to stay connected to me, you can message me on WhatsApp.